All right, we are back. Thank you again for being here. This is the Tactical Businessman, and I am your host, Garrett Bake. Listen, really quickly, I want you guys to know if you're listening in or if you're watching this, I'm actually recording this on Instagram Live. Why? Because I wanted to try something a little different. But listen, I wanted to tell you a story before I give you today's topic. A couple weeks ago, I got invited to a networking meeting. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a networking meeting before or a get together. It's kind of weird, kind of creepy, and kind of fun all at the same time. And I'll explain why. So I get invited. I connect with somebody on LinkedIn, and they send me this invite. Hey, we've got this networking group. We'd like you to come check it out and be a part of it. I'm like, cool. I've never been part of a networking group, and I got an invitation, so of course I'm going to go. So I show up at this networking meeting, and there's about 60 people there, and the format was very structured. Now, again, I'm not here to talk whether structure is good or bad. I'm just saying it was very structured. There was one gentleman who was in charge. His name was David, and he had a format, and the format was very simple. Once everybody got in and got seated, he literally said, hey, this is what we're going to do. And so the way they had it set up was you had 60 seconds to talk about yourself. 60 seconds. And during those 60 seconds, you had to get out who you were, what it was that you offered, and how was it that you could help the group, or what were you offering to the group that was there. Now, about, I would say 30% of the room were members of this networking group, like regular members, and the rest were guests. We were invited, right? This was our tryout, if you will. And during this meeting, it started off very structured, how you would imagine the typical networking meeting would go. And it started off with some of the members introducing themselves. Hi, my name is Charles. I'm an artist. I'm a banker. I'm an entrepreneur, whatever it is. And then they'd talk a little bit about their product or service and then say, this is what I'm offering to the group. And I was like, okay, cool. And I brought my notebook, and I was actually writing down everything that they were saying. I was like, okay, this is their name, this is their offer, so on and so forth. Because I wanted to later be able to digest this and go, okay, can I help any of these people out? Can I, connect these people with somebody that I know? Or is there something that I could use from their products and services? And I kept writing, and I kept writing, and I kept writing. And mind you, 60 seconds. You got 60 seconds to talk about it. That's it. So they're talking, and they're talking, and they're talking. And I start to get really, really bored, like really bored. And the reason I got bored is because it started to get really repetitious. In other words, there were people that would come on and they would say, hi, my name is, Susie, and I'm in financial services, and I offer people a free financial analysis, and I'm really looking for more connections and more clients right now. Hi, my name is Charles, and I'm in this, and this is what I'm looking for. And so it got to be almost like a pitch fest. And if you've ever been involved in a pitch fest, it gets really, really weird after a while, because you're there, and instead of trying to make legitimate connections with people who may or may not benefit you, but you're trying to make legitimate connections, people are trying to sell you on stuff. It's almost like, imagine going to a used car lot and having about 15 people approach you at the same time. Like eventually you start to want to wipe yourself up with sanitary wipes because you're feeling dirty. Well, I'm thinking about what I'm going to say. Now, they don't tell you the order, but more people are going and more people are going, and I'm there at the end just about. And I'm thinking, man, what am I going to say about myself? Do people really want to hear about productivity? Do they really want to hear about performance? Do they really want to hear about accountability? What is it that they really want to hear about? And so I'm thinking, and finally I'm like, you know what? I'm going to tell a story. And so my turn comes up, and they give the quick intro that I gave them, that I'm a retired police officer and I'm in the business world and so on and so forth. And then whoop, all eyes on me. And I stand up and I tell a story. And I tell this story about when I was working patrol late one night, and I see a suspicious vehicle. I initiate a traffic stop on this vehicle. The driver immediately gets out of his car and starts running. Well, what do? Well, I chase after him, and I'm running after him, and he's running. I'm telling him to stop, and he's not stopping. So I pull out my taser, and I'm like, I'm going to tase you if you don't stop. And he keeps running, and I tase him. And he proceeds to lock up, which is what a taser is supposed to do. He slides to a stop on the ground, but as he does, his sweatpants fall down to his knees, and he proceeds to I'll keep it the PG version, to urinate and defecate all over himself. And I go up to him and I handcuff him and I kind of try and pull his pants up, and the only thing he can say to me, he turns around and he looks at me and he goes, "That's not cool, bro." And I get half the room to erupt in laughter, and the other half are looking at me in shock and horror. And I'm just about to hit him with like the boom, here's the closing. And what happens? Time. I get this crazy, like there's a Nazi, like not a Nazi, but a time Nazi. And she's like, time. And they moved on to the next person. Like I couldn't finish what I was doing. And afterwards, it was interesting because I had a couple people come up to me and actually ask me what it was that I did. And a couple people, hey, I appreciate your story. And half the room completely like say, hey, I don't know who you are, but I want to have nothing to do with you. So it was really interesting, right? And I've been thinking about this a lot the last couple of weeks because I've been studying a lot when it comes to the area of sales. And not like let's sit belly to belly and let's figure out what you want and whether I can help you get what you want, but the front end of sales. And I realized that the front end of sales, and I talked about this last week a little bit, we talked about relationship marketing, right? That's what it's about now. But I realized that there's so many different pieces to a story, to a sale, that unless your customer or potential client is ready to buy, the odds of you closing that deal are slim to none. Now, what does this have to do with business, right? I want you to know that this is what business has become now. Good or bad, because we have automated everything in our lives, there is no more human element. So we think that in order to sell people, we just have to automate everything. So you take the human side out of it. Now, I'm in the online space, right? And so I do a lot of online marketing. I do a lot of online training. Like I spend a lot of time online. And guess what? I have automation sequences. I have a bot that I deploy. If you've ever used my chat bot, if you will, through Facebook Messenger, I have a bot set up in there to do some things. And I got to this point where I was overly dependent on the automation. In other words, I became just like everybody else. Like what separated me from anybody? Nothing. Because I was just like them. So the question I have for you is, what are you doing right now to differentiate yourself? And by that, I mean, what are you doing to bring that human element back into your sales process? Now, it doesn't have to be you're on the phone with every person every day and you're just beating yourself up. That's not what I mean. But what I mean is there has to be a human element in there somewhere. If you think about what people are looking for, any person on this earth, they are looking for connection. Think about why Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and all of these, LinkedIn, all of these social media platforms, why are they so popular? Why do they make so much money? Why are there so many people using them? Because people want to connect. And they think that by using the bot, right, by using the automation sequences, that all of a sudden you're going to be able to connect with more people. And to a degree, that's true. But the depth of connection that you're going to have with them is actually less. So what I want to have you consider is maybe you want to start using some of these online platforms to, instead of just creating random connections, instead of just trying to pitch someone on your thing and sell them, maybe this online platform becomes a connection point first. Maybe you become the anti-automation. It doesn't mean you don't use automation, but maybe it becomes a way for you to incorporate automation in the human element. Now, let me explain to you what it is that I've been experimenting with for the last month or so. I've been spending a lot of extra time on LinkedIn. Why? Because that's where a lot of my audience is. I appreciate you guys on Facebook, and I share all these episodes, at least a little clip on there for you, and I always give you a link. And for those of you who listen to my podcast, thank you, and I appreciate that. But I've been spending a lot more time there. Why? Because the person who is serious about business is going to be on LinkedIn. By the way, if you're not on LinkedIn and you're serious about business, you might want to get on there. So on there, but what I'm doing is different than Facebook. What happens in Facebook? In Facebook, they either recommend, hey, you should probably, connect with these people, or you just randomly look for people and send them friend requests. But there's nothing there. So if you had a previous, check this out, if you had a previous existing relationship with them, then what happens? Then the likelihood of you connecting with them goes higher, right? You either went to school with them, or you went to college with them, or you play sports with them, or you had work, you work together or something. That's how those connections occur. But on LinkedIn, it's different. People go there knowing that it's business, and they're looking to make business connections. So when I connect with people on LinkedIn, I send them a message with the connection request. And it's a personalized message. That's right. That takes extra time. But it's a personalized message. In other words, I look at their profile, look at what it is that they're doing, what it is that they're interested in. And if it's something that I want to learn more about, or someone that I would like to personally connect with, then I connect with them. See, there's a difference. And so now when they accept my connection request, there's a message that goes along with it, and we can start a human conversation. See, what's been missing out of your life is that human connection. How do I know? Because I long for it too. Listen, if you guys consume me on any type of digital media, you know I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on LinkedIn. Like I'm on the digital marketplace all over the place. But guess what I really, really, really enjoy? I enjoy being in a room with other people and connecting with them face to face. See, here on the podcast or on social media, I can share a message with you, right? And I don't know for sure that it's connecting with you. I mean, I would like to think it is because you guys are still listening, but I don't know for sure if it's connecting with you. When I'm in a room with people, I feed off their energy. When I'm in a room with people, I can ask them questions and get feedback and then customize my response to that. I enjoy being in a room full of people. I enjoy being in that environment. So why is it that we keep taking what it is that we want away from ourselves, and more importantly, away from our audience, away from our clients, away from our customers? You want to build a bigger business, learn how to bring back that human touch. Whether it's a simple message, hey, just checking in on you, seeing how things are going. Whether it's an email, thanks for your purchase, I'm just following up. It's been 2 weeks, want to make sure everything's going all right. Whether it's hey, we're having a customer appreciation party, we'd like to invite you. There's so many things that can happen in that space, but I will tell you that you will build not only brand loyalty, but you will also have recurring customers who are more than willing to bring you referrals. That's right, the magical word when it comes to marketing and sales, referrals. Why? Because you don't have to pay for them. Take care of your people, and they will take care of you. All right, that's all I got for you today. Listen, I want you to know I've been working on it really hard, and I know you've been listening. I've been working on it really hard. WinTheDailyWar.com is now complete. That's right. I completed it. I tried to have other people help me, but guess what? Nobody wanted to help me. Just kidding. They wanted to help me, but charged me a bunch of money. So I figured it out on my own. It's not the perfect thing, but it works. You can go on there. You can learn a little bit more about me. You can learn a little bit more about some of the tools and things that I have. You can listen to some past episodes of the podcast. Yep, I got that up there. I got a blog up there, some of the articles that I've written if you're interested in learning more about productivity, performance, accountability, so on and so forth. It's all up there for you. So WinTheDailyWar.com is live. That's right. So if you're looking for some stuff, go there, check it out. But as always, if you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, reach out to me. I love talking to you. I love connecting with you. And I want to make sure that you guys are getting your questions answered. So as always, remember, it's easier to stay ready than it is to get ready. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.